Okay guys, we've got one here. One on the Trout Trix worm. I was 10 feet deep, 1.8 miles an hour. That is a pink worm teamed with an action disc. Oh yeah. Oh man. Feisty little pan-sized fish. Let's see if I can just shake him. There he is. And there he goes, no touch release. Pink Trout Trix, action disc. Got it pegged with a couple of bobber stops, and there's just a little bead on there for a little added color. And hey, it works. 10 feet deep, 1.8 miles an hour. I barely put that rod back in the water, and it looks like I got another customer here. I don't know if he's hooked. There he is. Oh yeah, I got him. It's a little bit bigger fish. Hey, no, maybe not. Make sure I'm not gonna run over any boats or anything. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy. Just gonna lift him. Oh! Same deal, Trout Trix and disc. And yeah, I got one on this one here. This is a Trout Trix and a blade right over here, and you can see that whole downrigger just vibrate with that fish on there, just like that. So double hookup, good stuff. So I got that buried in the clip pretty good. Let's pop that out of the clip, just like that. And there should be, oh yeah, I was gonna say there should be a fish on the end of this line, and there is. That's awesome. Now that was 21 feet. That other one that's been getting hit is at 10 feet. So good stuff. Good stuff. We will try the same thing again. The old lift them and shake them, and try not to get them in the boat at all. Looks like another pan-sized rainbow. I really don't want to net these fish. We got 67-degree water on the surface, so best thing to do is get them right back in the water without touching them if possible. Oh yeah, right there. Now, there's that fish right there. Now that is a chartreuse worm. Now that is one of my Fisheye Pros watermelon trailing a chartreuse Trout Trix, probably, I don't know, I'm gonna say 14 inches behind that blade. Hey guys, let's talk about these Trout Trix worms a little bit more. They are proven to be absolutely devastating. This is a heavily fished lake. These fish have seen everything. They've seen rapalas. They've seen, you know, just about anything you can think of, but they're not seeing very many Trout Trix worms. It's small enough to interest pan-sized fish. It's large enough to interest trophy fish. They hold scent well. They feel very lifelike. When I was working that one on the lead core there, that fish hit that worm repeatedly, just like it was a real worm. Right now I'm using Sweet Corn Procure. In fact, that bottle's almost empty. I got to get some more. That's working very well. We're using a variety of different colors on the worms. Pink has worked well. Chartreuse is working. Orange has been working from time to time, and natural colored ones have been working too. Now, I'm gonna reel these in one at a time, and let's take a more in-depth look at the rigging of these baits. Okay, bait number one, hybrid trolling system, 3 colors of lead core, Abu 5500 line counter with my iconic yellow lead core rod. You've seen that before, okay? We bring that main line down to the troll and swivel, just like we always do. 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader material, probably got, I'm gonna guess 40 inches of leader material there. So I put the action disc on there, 2 bobber stops right there. And this bead is important. It adds a little bit of color to the bait, but it also prevents those bobber stops from pulling inside the worm. The worm's very soft. Sometimes when you're fighting the fish, they'll pull the bobber stops inside the worm. So that little bead right there prevents that. In terms of a hook, let me pull this one off here. We are just running a number 6 Eagle Claw bronze ring-eyed hook. Very simple rigging. Take the hook, take the worm, run that worm, you know, down the hook, just like that. Keep them as straight as possible, but it doesn't really matter. Keep the hook, you know, as close to the center of the worm as you can. Put the worm on there until that hook is probably, I'm gonna say, half to 2/3 of the distance down the worm. Work it on there, just like that. Pop out the tip of the hook. The worm's gonna look gobbed up like that. Just work the worm on the hook, get it on there fairly straight, just like that, and then put it in the water next to the boat. Dial in the action by sliding the bobber stops up and down. I like a really frantic action. The trout come in, sometimes they grab the tail, sometimes they just inhale the bait. If they grab the tail, you can work it like you saw me do with the lead cord. Give them some slack, pull it forward, some slack, pull it forward. Those fish will follow that bait for, you know, 100 feet or more, and finally they'll commit. And when you get that number 6, you know, ring eye hook embedded, they have a hard time getting off. I've lost fish on it, but you know, by and large, when you hook them, they tend to stay hooked on this rig. I had one tonight already that was jumped, you know, he jumped multiple times and no problem landing that fish. I'm gonna put this one back out in the water. We'll pop the downrigger and we'll take a little look at that Dodger rig that I'm running on that. Okay guys, the sun angle's a little different. I was getting close to the bank over there, so I had to turn the boat around. This rig here, I could easily be running this on lead core, but in this case I'm running it off the downrigger using one of my purple and black 7'6" Kellogg downrigger rods. I got a 5500 Abu LC on there. This one I've got spooled up with 10-pound test fluorocarbon line. So let me show you how this works. I'm running this at 21 feet, and same as a lead core. I come down, I go through a bead, trolling swivel right there. 4-inch watermelon colored fisheye Dodger. I really love the watermelon color. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be rainbow, but I have a high level of confidence when I have the watermelon blade on, and hey, it's working in this color of water. Enough said about that. 4-inch blade. I'm about 3 Dodger links back, maybe just a little more, about 14 inches. That's a 4-inch blade, maybe 13, 14 inches. I come down, no bobber stops, no beads, no nothing. Same hook I'm using, same basic way of putting the worm on. Again, number 6 bronze Eagle Claw ring eye hook. Got that hook, you know, just buried in there as straight as possible. I put in that corn scent on it, 1.8 miles an hour, and honestly, I'm having a hard time keeping the fish off of it this afternoon. I'm getting ready to pull the lines because I'm just out here pre-fishing for my clients. I got clients tomorrow, and I don't want to beat these fish up too bad. I've obviously got the bite dialed in. Right now, let me turn this just a tad here. Right now, pink is kind of outperforming the chartreuse, but chartreuse is definitely working, as is orange, as is natural. And again, it's not something the fish are seeing. Has a very erratic natural action. It feels real when they touch it. I'm putting plenty of scent on it, and just flat out fishes. And when you hook them on that number 6 hook, they stay hooked. So enough said about that. If you want to get in on the Trout Trix revolution, get on over to fishhuntshoot.com. They will work in any lake that has rainbow trout. They're a killer, and there's something that the trout aren't seeing. And you know me, that's how I develop baits. Sure, I've got spoons, I've got some standard stuff in my lineup, but I try to develop baits that other anglers aren't fishing, that the fish aren't seeing, because if the fish aren't seeing the bait, you have a much better chance of hooking up. That's doubly true when it comes to big fish. So don't follow the leader. Get some trout tricks, show them to the trout in your favorite lake, and you're gonna be yelling fish on, and you might just find a trophy at the end of your line that sucked in that little tiny 3-inch worm. I'm Kellogg. I'll catch you later right here on YouTube. Thanks for all the support, fellas.